Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. Just want to let everyone get a chance to sign and get connected. Just a reminder that we have a chat at the bottom. So if you have any questions, feel free to enter them there in the chat. We also have a prompt from our wonderful Becky Rouse here, who's going to introduce herself in just a minute, but she'd like to know where you're from, how's the weather today, and which program you might be interested in. I can say that it is a dreary, rainy day right now here in New Orleans, and just got caught in the rain. So this is going to be a great couple days in the rain.
It's rainy here too in Houston.
All right, it looks like we may have everyone logged in. So we'll go ahead and get started. We are mindful of everyone's time. So this is the Emergency and Security Studies Admissions webinar. Welcome. We are great to have you join us. My name is Amanda Hassan, and I am the Director of Academic Advising here at the School of Professional Advancement. And I will let my two wonderful colleagues introduce themselves. I'll start with Dr. Mike Wallace.
Hi, everyone. Really happy that you're on with us today. As Amanda said, my name is Michael Wallace. I am a retired Naval Intelligence Officer. I spent 20 years in the Navy and concentrated mainly on counterterrorism, counterproliferation, and support to special operations. So that's kind of my background. I've been here at Tulane for 7 years now. It's hard to believe. And please ask me any questions you want about me, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Rouse.
Hi, everyone. My name is Becky Rouse. I'm the Associate Program Director for Emergency and Security Studies, otherwise known as Mike's Little Helper. We have, as you're going to find out more about our programs, my background is actually in both Homeland Security and Emergency Management. Woo-hoo. I'm a retired Army officer with almost 22 years. And I was a military police officer, got to write speeches for combatant commanders and got to teach at West Point. So all kinds of cool experiences. Love to talk to folks about any of the things we've done. Also worked at FEMA right before I came here and a variety of other kind of state and local emergency management, Homeland Security entities. My background in education is criminal justice, political science, and Homeland Security. So again, anybody interested in advanced education, we love to talk to you.
All right, so a little bit about SOPA. So we are the School of Professional Advancement. Little bit about Tulane. It was founded by as the Medical College of Louisiana back in the early 1800s. And then from there on, it was just kind of set that foundation of what we know now as our specific school, which is offering continuing education courses, as well as dedication to students who are lifelong learners, adult learners, students like you who are working full time in the field. And it shows that we have a commitment to making sure that you get the education that you need. And as we move forward through this webinar, you'll see a little bit why that is and why we are called the School of Professional Advancement, because we have a lot of flexibility for our students. Hence the reason why we cater to students who are working adults. We're pretty affordable. We have a great support staff at SOPA. We have phenomenal programs and faculty members that help you through along from the time that you are admitted and start your first class all the way through graduation. We are all here to support you, and you get the online education that you're looking for. So for many of you, you look for programs that are online, that are flexible to your needs, and that's exactly what we offer here at SOPA. And why not? You also get a Tulane degree. Imagine not being able to go to Tulane because you look at pricing and things not being affordable. Well, with SOPA, you get to do that and you get to have a Tulane degree, which is the best of both worlds there. So a little bit more about the online learning aspect. What the first thing that I will say to you is that you're not in it alone. I know that a lot of students come to school for the first time after many years, and thinking about online learning can be a bit scary. However, SOPA makes it really, really easy and very manageable for our students. We have access, we give students access to all the information that they need on our platform, which is called Canvas. You'll have access to materials, assignments, anything you need for your classes will be at your fingertips 24/7. We have a lot of engaging and interactive activities and videos to make learning a bit more interesting and fun. We do discussions so that you can collaborate with your peers as well as your professors. We have a ton of diverse group of students that you will work with in your classes across the board. So regardless as to what class you're taking, you're going to be taking classes with students all across SOPA, and even at some points in undergraduate classes across the university. So you get to do a lot of networking, and you get to have a lot of support, not only from the staff at SOPA and the faculty, but also from your peers. So this kind of gives you an idea of how much students do online learning at SOPA. So we have about close to 1,400 students that completed almost 12,000 hours of online coursework last year, which is a lot. It's amazing that we have so many degrees online that you can get without stepping foot on campus, including 8 master's degrees, 11 undergraduate certificates. We have some post-baccalaureate certificates, and just over 300 courses that are just taught in general online. Our faculty are trained, and we go through an in-depth course development workshop where we design the classes specifically to students' needs. So we have very rich information to post, and we make sure that it's very accessible and handy for you guys. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Wallace so he can give you more information about the programs themselves.
Thanks, Amanda. So the Homeland Security field is a relatively new field when compared to other academic fields. It's started after 9/11, and initially the Homeland Security field was focused primarily against terrorism threats against the United States. That all changed in 2005 when we had Hurricane Katrina, and the Homeland Security field changed to look at all disasters, both man-made and natural. So you can see that Homeland Security, the big term Homeland Security, encompasses a lot of different areas and fields, including emergency management, critical infrastructure, which is being talked about a lot today, cybersecurity, intelligence, counterterrorism, and then Homeland Defense and border security. And the thing about Homeland Security and emergency management is that you find it at every level of government. So at the federal, state, and local, and then also in private industry. So it's a career field that you can go anywhere in the country or even other places in the world and find jobs in these areas. Next slide. Now I'll let Dr. Rouse talk about emergency management.
Emergency management, on the other hand, has been around since the founding of our nation. Maybe not formally, but certainly everything from, well, maybe not responding to the British, but the kind of things that would have occurred as a result of even in catastrophic events or any kind of crises, the management of those emergent events. We take that history, if you will, and we watch it evolve. And in the last 21 years, between the attacks of 9/11 and the tragic events of in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, we find that we are really in a period of tremendous growth and in technologies, the value of new initiatives. The government is finally catching up with kind of thinking with more vision and in advance. So it's really silly as it may sound. It's a really incredibly exciting time to join the emergency management field as we leverage these various capabilities and expand our capabilities. Well, our program is also trying to keep up with this as best we can. Social media, use of drones, augmented intelligence or reality. And so emergency management is able to focus on kind of how to solve the next crisis or approach the next crisis before it even occurs.
And one of the best things about my job is that I get to travel all over and meet with a lot of interesting people in the Homeland Security, the emergency management, and security management field. And one thing that I discovered when I started this job a few years ago is that we had a Homeland Security program which covered Homeland Security and emergency management. But as I was going around meeting with a lot of private sector, we realized that there was nothing to educate people in security management. So looking at emergency and security for industries and corporations. And you think about it, industry and corporations, they have the same needs that a lot of public agencies do, but geared towards their business to protect their product, to protect their customers, and also to protect their employees. So you see here, we have an emergency management field that is growing. You have major companies, like for example, oil and gas companies here in Louisiana that have employees all over the world. So they're worried about employee safety when they go to different countries. They're worried about emergency management when they have, hopefully they don't have disasters, but they have to be prepared to deal with those. You also have the medical field, which again is kind of focuses on everything that we do in security and emergency management. You think about it, they have to worry about security. They have to worry about their critical infrastructure. They have to worry about cyber. One of the number one attacks for ransomware, medical files, because you think about it, everything is computerized now. And also emergency management. So if something happens, if there's a disaster, how are you going to get all those patients to safety? So, and I'll let Becky, you want to take this one?
Okay. One of the things that we had planned to do in our presentations in the future was capture any day in the life of a job board, right? So that we said emergency managers, where are they being hired? Where are they working? Where are they specifically being requested? In what industries and so on? Well, I thought, what a great idea. And I'll put together a slide. The thing is, it changes by the minute. And it is truly a field. I'm not kidding. If anybody's ever looked for work in this field, or you hope to operate in this field as a new career path, you're going to find that there's a huge number of folks who are being valued and looked at to be incorporated into, just as Dr. Wallace was saying, every kind of facility, every kind of network, every kind of entity. And in fact, there are plenty of folks who don't even know how much they need emergency management assistance and welcome it. And therefore you see consultancies and private businesses that folks are creating to solve some of these needs as well.
So we're going to now go through our different degrees. And first, we're going to talk about the Bachelor's in Homeland Security Studies. This is actually our oldest degree. It's been around since 2006. This is part of an overall bachelor's degree. The major itself is made up of 30 hours, and you can see some of the courses here. Again, you will get both emergency management, critical infrastructure, and Homeland Security background. So for Homeland Security, definitely in intelligence analysis, counterterrorism. We have 2 emergency management classes, one in emergency management, also one in health and medical issues. You will also have critical infrastructure, cyber. So you'll get a good kind of blend of all the different areas that make up Homeland Security Studies. We also offer, for those students that are in the Homeland Security Studies undergrad degree, we offer a 4+1 program. So what that is that allows you to enter into the graduate program your senior year as an undergrad. You're allowed to take 2 classes for 6 hours that count both for the undergrad and graduate degree. And then right after you get your bachelor's degree, you move right in to the graduate program and you finish up the rest of your classes. The 4+1 is a little misleading. You actually have a little bit more time than 1, so don't think you have to take the rest of the classes, the 9 classes in 3 semesters. If you want to spread it out, you can. But that's a new program. It's been very popular with students in the undergrad program. Currently, the undergrad program is only available here in New Orleans at Tulane University. However, all of the Homeland Security courses that are in the major are available online. Next slide. We also offer certificates. I can't talk today. We have a post-baccalaureate for those who have received a bachelor's degree, but not in the Homeland Security or emergency management fields. This allows you to take the undergrad Homeland Security and emergency management courses to give you a better background and understanding of Homeland Security. We also have graduate certificates. We have graduate certificates in the areas you see here below. They are the same to get in these programs as the same admissions requirements, which we'll cover in the next slide, I believe. They're made up of 4 courses, so 12 hours. And the great thing about these certificates, they can be stacked towards a master's degree. So if you take the emergency management and the advanced emergency management, that means that you have 8 courses towards your 11 to get the master's degree. So if you'd like, you can take the certificate and see how you like the program. And then if you like it, you can move into the master's program. Next slide. So we're going to talk about the graduate degrees now, and there's some things that are common across all the degrees. It is a Master's of Professional Studies. Each of them are 33 hours, so 11 courses. And the 11th course is a capstone that is for the student to be able to demonstrate mastery of all the different parts of the courses that they've taken in a project. There are 3 different degrees, as you can see here: emergency management, Homeland Security Studies, and security management. To apply, you need a minimum of 3.0 undergrad. However, we do also take in other factors. For example, if you graduated 20 years ago and your GPA may not have been around a 3.0, but you spent the last 20 years in the emergency management or Homeland Security field, we take that into consideration when we look at your record. There's no GRE that's required. However, you do have to submit a writing sample, and this is the actual, what you have to write on is in the application. It's usually on a sector of or a section of Homeland Security or emergency management, which you see as being an issue in the next coming years. And then to graduate from the program, you need a 3.0 GPA, just like to get in. You have to graduate with that 3.0. Next slide. So the first degree we'll talk about is the Homeland Security Studies. You have 7 core electives that the students have to complete, including the capstone, and then you have 4 electives. And the Homeland Security curriculum was just updated. We updated it last year. And now we have a concentration in cybersecurity, which is 9 hours. And we also have a certificate in intelligence, which is 12 hours. I'm being a former intelligence guy. I'm very excited about this. There are 2 analytical intel courses. There is a human intelligence and counterintelligence course, and then there's an information operations and open source intel course that make this up. You can see some of the other courses here. We're constantly adding courses to in response to our public advisory board, which are experts in the field who advise us on latest trends in Homeland Security. Next slide. And then this is security management. Again, it follows the same format, 11 courses with a capstone. This one is a little bit more prescribed. You have 9 core courses and then 1 elective in your capstone. And you can see here some of the courses: physical and infrastructure security, risk management, threat assessment, corporate security, business continuity, which is extremely important for businesses, and cyber threats. Next slide.
Masters of Public, I'm sorry, the Masters of Professional Studies. I'm sorry, I too am distracted by the weather here. We have thunderstorms and no power in emergency management. This is great. It's great training for all of us, great education for us to operate in the Homeland Security and Emergency Management fields to be here in NOLA. We also have a program that has 11 courses. It's just recently been modified, so it has much more flexibility. It can be tailored to what your interests might be, with 5 of the courses being required and the other 6 being electives. And the electives can be taken from the emergency management tracks, the Homeland Security courses, and the security management courses. So again, folks can kind of build their program to suit their needs and suit their interests, and perhaps suit the workplace in which they're already operating. Our capstone events are focused on the capstone option, I should say. It's required at the final, as a final course in the program. We focus on real world experiential opportunities to contribute to the communities or organizations, or even if it's a purely academic product, to focus on solving some problems or some conditions that we see in our environment. Oh, sorry, that's me too. Here's just a couple of the folks we have in teaching our emergency management courses, and they all have first-hand experience. They're what we call scholar practitioners, practitioner scholars, depending on how you like to word it. And that's true of our fields all together. You find that throughout Homeland Security, security management, and emergency management. The folks are able to not simply come to class and tell war stories or just share endlessly their version of how things happen, but they certainly do have plenty of anecdotes and plenty of cases to share. And they also are really quite willing to work with students on independent studies or on special projects, or even just advise you on entering this field and working within this field.
And you can see here some of the fields that our graduates have gone on to. We do have a lot of military and veterans. Federal law enforcement, we've placed students at all levels of law enforcement, to include the FBI, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security Investigations, emergency management. We actually have graduates in different states and at FEMA. And locally, there are a number of our emergency management graduates helping to keep us safe. An interesting story about one of our graduates that went up to New Jersey. She's working for the New Jersey Emergency Management Homeland Security Office. She got up there right before the big hurricane hit up there. So she took her knowledge of studying Katrina and could apply it towards Hurricane Sandy that hit I think a month after she got up there. So, and you know, while Dr. Rouse was also talking about our instructors and what an incredible resource they are, because they are actually in the fields that they teach, we have students that have a number of years of experience in these different fields, and everyone who's a student in this program has something to bring to the program. And so not only do you learn from the faculty, you also learn from your classmates, and you also start to build that, that connection and networking that's so vital in this community. Next slide.
All right, so again, kind of like I mentioned in the beginning, how SOPA has an abundance of student support and success, surrounded by, again, from the time that you are interested in programs all the way to the time that you graduate. So we have academic advisors in addition to your program directors. We have expert faculty. So again, just like Dr. Rouse and Dr. Wallace said, the faculty are very experienced in the industry. And so they're giving you that firsthand experience throughout the time that you're taking your classes. We also have career advice that is given to you. We have a career counselor who gives webinars and who has a Canvas site and a job board. And she helps you to tailor your resume to specific job postings. And then in addition to her, again, just like Dr. Rouse and Dr. Wallace said, they are also your go-to folks as well. They are the ones who were in the field as well. So they know exactly, how to help you look for the things that you're interested in. And then again, just networking with your peers, and you have access to our Tulane alumni network as well. So applying is very simple. The application is online and it's very easy to complete. However, if you run into any trouble, we are here to walk you through. For the application fee, it's $40 for undergraduate and $50 for graduate. However, because you are here today, your application fee will be waived. You do need to make sure that you have a clear image of an ID, a government ID, and your transcripts. I know sometimes it takes a bit for your transcripts, especially if you have transcripts coming from a university where they're only doing mail outs as opposed to electronic. But if you're able to get that electronic sent over to us, the quicker you do that, the quicker your application will be reviewed. Again, if you have access to your unofficial transcripts, we can look at that just to kind of get the ball rolling while we're waiting for your official transcripts to come in. And again, no GRE is required, just a writing sample for our graduate students. So the application deadlines are going to come up very quickly. So for the summer, you still have time to apply. May 1st is our deadline, and for fall, it is August 1st. And then again, if you're trying to figure some things out, you need to wait till next January or next spring. January 1st will be your deadline there. We do reward you for applying and being accepted and registering early. So if you are in the process of applying, getting that done quickly so that you are accepted and able to meet with your advisor so that you can register for your classes. For our, we give you an early enrollment scholarship for doing that. So $200 scholarships are available for our undergraduate students and a one-time $500 scholarship for our graduate students. So register early so that you can save money. In addition to, if some of you have any transfer credits that you would like to get evaluated, you also have the option of credit for prior learning. And you can earn this towards both your master's degree or your bachelor's degree. For a master's degree, you can earn up to 6 credits by turning your life experience, your military training, work experience that you've had over the last however many years you have been in specific fields or any areas of expertise you have. You can do an assessment and you can be evaluated and you can turn that into credits, and that would take off at least 2 classes from your graduate program. At the undergraduate level, you can receive up to 24 credits for this. So it kind of gets you to that point a little bit quicker to graduation. So definitely something worth looking into. If you're interested in doing that, please send an email to me and I will put my email in the chat before we end today so that if you have more questions about it, you can feel free to contact me and we can see exactly, what would be best for you. Financial assistance. We do offer a 20% discount at the undergraduate level if you are a city, parish employee, work at the sheriff's office or the housing authority, or if you're active duty military personnel. At the graduate level, you get a 20% discount, again, if you are active military veterans, and then if you are active retired public safety. So if you were a firefighter, police officer, or paramedic, you can also get a discount. We also are a Yellow Ribbon program For our students who are eligible for our master's degree, we do accept the GI Bill and voc rehab, as well as survivors and dependents educational assistance. Be sure to fill out a FAFSA if you are interested in receiving other financial aid, and you can get all of your military benefits and everything else, evaluated and processed through. We have someone in our office that can assist, as well as someone in the registrar's office that will assist. Again, we like to talk about that affordability and why SOPA is the best part of Tulane. Tuition, again, is very, very affordable at the undergraduate level. For summer, it's about $524 a credit. At the graduate level, it's a little over $1,000 per credit. And for fall, it will go up just a smidgen. So at the undergraduate level, it'll be about $576 per credit. And at the undergraduate level, about $1,100 or so per credit hour. Again, it's still extremely affordable. You can apply for financial aid. Again, you do that through the FAFSA, and make sure that you put Tulane's code on your FAFSA so that you can get it evaluated quickly. And you can be eligible for grants, loans, again, the Yellow Ribbon program, the discount for our military folks. And we do have the credit for life experience as well, because again, you can pay a one-time fee and get up to all of those credits just to knock out some classes. And we thank you for joining. We want to open it up. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat. We are happy to answer those. Dr. Wallace's information is here. If you have any other questions as well. If you have questions again about the credit for prior learning, I will add my contact in the chat for you. I don't know if there's anything else that either Dr. Wallace or Dr. Russ would like to add before we end.
You can really ask us anything. We may not answer, but you can ask us anything.
Yeah, one thing to add, we're working on right now. We have a graduate student working with us, and we're building, we call it a consultancy. It's probably not quite that formal yet, but what we're going to look at is eventually taking all the skills and capabilities that we're building in as folks go through these programs, and then you're applying those through outreach projects, and those can be conducted. Those projects and those opportunities can exist anywhere. They don't have to be here in New Orleans. And we can teach even how to find your quote clients to work with, so that you have something to put on your resume, a project that you contributed to, and you also have experience and in efforts toward improving or really honing those skills, and being able to also extend your network to folks in your community who are in need of or who are benefited from your expertise and your perspectives. So this is something we are probably launching. We hope to be launching by end of summer or by fall. Just wanted to plug that.
All right, well, if there are no questions, again, reach out. I know that you'll have some later on. The most important thing is when you leave here, either complete your application, start your application, all those different things, just so that you can get the ball rolling and get qualified for those early enrollment scholarships. Thank you for joining us, and stay safe, everyone.